Following the incredible success of the fairy tales, Foxymations returns with a brand new analog horror series. This time it's more ambitious, more layered, diving into something rawer and disturbingly close to home. Routine draws us into the monotonous existence of someone trapped in an endless cycle. Not because he chooses to, but because he can't do anything else. Each morning is torture, every action a hollow repetition, and the worst part isn't the creature that shares his home, it's what that creature stands for. In this story, the horror doesn't come from the outside, it's inside. It lives in his mind. It watches, it judges, and it never stops reminding him. This is all his fault. Here, the enemy has no claws, no fangs. It's just a voice, one he knows better than anyone else, and a pain that simply won't go away. In this video, we're going to break down routine piece by piece, scene by scene, to uncover the real message behind it. Often, horror isn't in what we see, but in what's missing, and that absence consumes everything. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to thank everyone who responded to the pinned comment in the last video, and for the incredible support you always give me. Remember, if you'd like to be featured in the next video, make sure to reply to the pinned comment where you'll find this question. What do you think really happened to Mark's family, and what role do you believe he played in it? Without further ado, don't forget to leave your precious like and subscribe to help the channel grow and reach more people. Every like is one more coin to escape poverty. If you're unsure what to comment, just type meow in the comments section, and I'll give you a heart in return. Comments are incredibly important and help the video a lot, so don't forget to leave yours. Welcome to Routine. The video opens with an alarm clock flashing 6 a.m. It's the start of a new day, the beginning of a routine that loops endlessly with no visible way out. A seemingly ordinary moment, yet one that feels disturbingly familiar. This time we step into the shoes of a man named Mark, who wakes not only to the shrill sound of the alarm, but also to a voice urging him to get out of bed. As he sits up, Mark finds himself face to face with a grotesque humanoid figure sitting on the floor at the far end of his room. The creature has something exposed at the center of its torso, though it's not yet clear what it is. Next, the entity tells him to look out the window. The cold light and surrounding darkness evoke a deep, aching sense of emptiness.
Cloudy days, right? You like those days, remember?
Says the figure before moving closer to the foot of the bed to show him a photograph, what appears to be his mother and brother, and that's when it hits. They're gone. There's nothing Mark can do about it. He has to stick to his routine. Life goes on, even when you're emotionally broken. So far, everything suggests that Mark is drowning in grief, lost in a deep depression after the loss of the two people he loved most, his family. The creature, likely a physical manifestation of his mental state, seems to reinforce this idea. Its elongated face and hollow eyes radiate unspeakable sorrow. But, as we'll soon discover, things are far more twisted than they appear. Mark gets up and heads to the bathroom to brush his teeth. His toothbrush is completely worn out, frayed and destroyed from overuse. He doesn't seem to care. He's simply going through the motions like an automaton. He even wonders why he made breakfast if he isn't hungry. A perfectly served meal, but utterly useless. Mark acts out of habit, not need. A classic sign of depression, doing things out of inertia with no desire, no purpose. The creature returns, this time sitting directly across from him. It's in this moment that the entity confirms what we've suspected all along. Everything we've seen so far has been a monologue, disguised as a conversation. None of it is real. It's a living fragment of his mind, a relentless representation of his pain, a punishing voice that won't shut up and even mocks him. Remember this, sometimes the greatest harm doesn't come from others, but from ourselves. Mark just wants to see his mother and brother again. But the desperate longing to reconnect with the dead can warp one's reality. He's dreamed of reliving the past, but has become trapped in a waking nightmare. Still, there's no time for that. He's going to be late for work. The routine must go on. Once outside, Mark walks down the same desolate road as always. It used to mean nothing to him. After all, he had a loving family waiting at home. That alone was reason enough to smile. But now that joy is gone. And though the road hasn't changed, he now perceives it as something entirely different, longer, colder, and emptier. After what feels like an eternity, he finally makes it to work on time.
Tired, right?
It's not really a question, it's a statement. Not the tiredness of a workday, but the exhaustion of existing when you've lost everything. And then the story takes a dark turn.
You have to face the consequences of your actions.
That single line changes everything. Mark didn't just lose his family. Maybe he had something to do with it. This is where the doubt creeps in. Was it an accident or something intentional? What's clear is that Mark is filled with guilt, haunted by their deaths, tormented by what happened. The entity doesn't just embody sorrow, as we saw earlier, it also represents judgment, the unrelenting judgment of his own conscience, punishing him for whatever he did. After finishing work, Mark heads back home along the same familiar road, but this time it feels darker than ever before. Along the way, he passes posters of missing persons, his mother and brother, and in that moment he begins to accept, or at least understand, that every apparition he's seen is directly tied to that traumatic event. As he walks, the world around him grows heavier, more oppressive. Unlike before, there's no one at home waiting for him anymore. Or maybe something still is.
We're here again. We always are. Just another day like any other. Right, everything is so monotonous. You remember perfectly the day your life went downhill, but you don't want to. If only they were here. Nothing kills a man faster than his own mind. You got lost again. Go rest. Close your eyes. Dreaming again as always. You can't even sleep like before. I have a solution for that. Take this. Tomorrow is a new day.
Mark is trapped within himself and within the twisted creation of his own mind. And now, it becomes clear. The creature bears an exposed brain in the center of its chest. The entity doesn't say anything we didn't already suspect. Mark remembers day zero all too well, the day everything fell apart, and he wishes, more than anything, that he could forget. He tries to escape, clinging to his repetitive routine day after day, but it's useless. All it does is drag him deeper into self-destruction, and it's even worse when your own mind becomes your worst enemy. Eventually, it's time to sleep, but the word rest appears in quotation marks, screaming at us that this is no real rest. It's just a temporary retreat before the cycle begins again. And even this retreat offers no peace, only nightmares. This time, Mark dreams of a path lined with lush greenery. At the end of it, he sees the figures of his mother and brother, but they're not alive. Their bodies clearly show the aftermath of a tragedy. His brother's neck is broken, and his mother has a bullet wound in her chest. So, what really happened? And what exactly was Mark's role in it? Mark wakes up. His mind is so fractured that even sleep brings no comfort anymore. In front of him, a temporary solution is offered. Escape the pain with the help of medication. Tomorrow will be a new day, but that doesn't mean hope. The routine begins again, a cycle that feels more like a prison, because when you've lost everything and you become your own worst executioner, time doesn't move forward, it just repeats. Routine isn't just another horror story. It's a raw, symbolic depiction of grief, of guilt, and how both can destroy someone from the inside out. Mark is fighting a war against his own mind day after day, and that mind has become the cruelest executioner of all. The creature isn't his enemy, it's his reflection. And the routine is the perfect prison for someone who doesn't want, or simply can't, move on. That hollow routine many of us live through daily. That chain of automatic gestures, waking up, brushing our teeth, going to work, coming back home. Not done out of will, but out of inertia or necessity. And the most terrifying part, that routine doesn't stop. Even when our entire inner world has collapsed. Mark has lost his family. We still don't know exactly what happened. For that, we'll have to wait for the next episode. But what we do know is that he's broken, and yet, the alarm keeps ringing. He has to get up. He has to keep going, as if nothing ever happened. Routine forces us to confront something we've all felt, in one way or another. That haunting sense of being trapped in a life we don't control. A loop that repeats endlessly, even when it's lost all meaning. And when habit becomes the only thing keeping us going, that's when the emptiness starts to creep in. This leaves us with one deeply uncomfortable question. How many times do we move through life like machines, ignoring what we feel simply because that's just the way it is? Mark isn't just a fictional character. He's a reflection of something very real, living without truly being alive. Always remember, change doesn't politely knock on your door. You have to fight for it every single day. Well, that's all for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love reading them. If you want more videos like this, don't forget to support the video as much as possible and share it with as many people as you can. Also, make sure to follow me on my other social media platforms where I post exclusive short content you won't see here on YouTube. And most importantly, a huge shout out to the channel members. Seriously, thank you all so much. If you'd like to become a member, just click the join button next to the subscribe button to unlock tons of perks and exclusive emojis while supporting me. If you're interested, join in. I'll be forever grateful. Oh, and remember, this video was made by a cat, and cats can't talk. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next week with one of those long, deep dive videos you all love. The ultimate analysis of the non-canon episodes of the Walton Files.